Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to chapter 9.6. We're going to do a really quick lesson, very easy inshallah, on sampling. Now sampling is basically taking a survey. What kind of surveys do we have that we can take and which ones are the best inshallah. So your vocabulary on samples. Now understand that all of these vocabulary words refer to the type of samples that we take. So sampling basically is when you take a survey, you ask a question and you ask a population. A population basically is the people that can be surveyed. The actual samples are the people that are asked, okay? So now there is random sampling. Random sampling basically means that each member has an equal chance. Not one person or group is preferred over another. Everybody has an equal chance to participate. A systematic sample, okay, this is basically you go according to a rule or to a formula. For example, I'm going to ask every third person that passes by, or I am only going to ask, people whose last name is, Smith or something like that. Now, stratified, it's random, yes, but it's also chosen from subgroups. Now, what does stratified mean? Basically, it means, let's say that you want to take a survey of middle school, right? So middle school is the whole population, all right? But you decide, well, I'm only going to ask the students in 8A. You're not including 8B or 8C. So that is what a stratified sample is. When you choose randomly, but then it's also a subgroup of an entire group. Convenient sampling. Convenient sampling is the easiest to do. Okay, and it's basically the easiest people that you can reach. In other words, let's say that you're going to do a sample about, the mailing system, the mailman, if he's delivering mail in your city, but you only go up and down on your street. You're only asking your neighbors, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Voluntary sampling is when people choose or the members choose to participate. So let's say, when you have people at the mall and they're doing surveys, but you choose to go and answer the question without them even asking you. So you are doing a voluntary response. Now, biased sampling. Biased sampling, it means that the results or the way or the method of sampling does not accurately represent the population. In other words, it doesn't represent what the decisions or the choices would be of other people, all right? So bias is not the best way, obviously, because it's not fair. So let's see the scenario that we have today. So we have a scenario where you have Miss Idan's math class wants to take a survey, and it's about the best lunch served at BHA. So each group decides on their own type of sampling method. So I want you to give a pro and a con, an advantage and a disadvantage for each of the methods that are chosen by each group. Then after that, I want you to choose the method that is the best and explain why you chose that method. So really quick, here are our choices for our groups. All right, so the first group decides to send a mass email survey. So they're going to send it to all of the students that are on main campus, okay? So what is a pro for that? And I wish I had you all in class so you all can give me, feedback. But if you're going to send a mass email, that's extremely easy to do, right? So a pro for that, it's easy to do. And it's that simple. It's easy to do because you're just sending an email. You're not taking much effort other than writing the email and then just sending it. Now, what is the disadvantage of that? So this disadvantage of that is that most likely it's going to be biased. In other words, the results are not going to be accurate because the people that choose to answer probably have a very strong opinion about the lunches served at BHA, right? So the con about that is that it's biased. People participating or people answering have strong feelings about questions. Because sometimes, guys, you get a survey, you read the questions, you don't care, I'll shut the email, right? But the people that are actually going to answer probably have a strong opinion, and they might want to criticize left and right, right? Now, group number 2, they ask classmates sitting at their lunch table. So if you're in my math class and I say, hey guys, go take a survey, and then, maybe some of you sit together, others of you spread out on different tables, right? You only ask the people at the table. So what is a pro about that? Well, the pro about that is that it's fast, because obviously everybody's sitting around you, right? And easily available. What does easily available mean? That the people that you are choosing to ask are right next to you, right? So easily available. Now, what is a con about that? The con about that basically is that it's biased as well, right? So is it going to be fair for the whole school? No, it's biased. Why? Because you are only asking your classmates, only your classmates are included. So only your classmates included. And if only the classmates are included, is that going to be fair for the whole school or for the whole student population? No, right? All right. Group number 3 is asking students with the names that start with A. So this type of system is stratified. They're just going to go around and they're going to ask people whose first names start with the letter A. Now, what is a pro about that? Well, it's, as far as I'm concerned, the pro is you're selecting just certain people, right? So you're selecting certain people, you're not including everybody. And the con about that, though, so the con, it's not going to be fast, right? It's going to be slow, because you're going to have to ask people that, does your name start with A? Does your name start with A? Unless if you know the whole student population, then it'll be easy for you. But the con is that it's going to take time in order to include everybody that starts with A. So surely selecting certain people, it might be easy, okay? But the con is, in order to include everybody whose name starts with the letter A, it's going to take time. So, takes time. And maybe too much time. Now, group number 4, they're spending 5 days in the multipurpose hall, the MPH, and they're asking 25 students per day. So randomly, they're choosing 25 students per day. And let's see, what is the pro about that, though? Well, number 1, if you're giving everybody, and by the way, when we say 25 students, it's 25 students from any grade level. So the pro about that is that it's unbiased, right? Because you're giving everybody a chance to answer. So pro, it's unbiased. Everyone gets a chance. Okay, now what about the con? Obviously it's taking 5 days, while some of you, maybe if you chose the other methods, it took you, 2-3 minutes, right? But for these people, it took them 5 days, and then even when you're taking those 5 days and asking those 25 people, it takes time to take the survey, right? So the con about this is that it's going to take a long time, right? So also, it takes time. Now, the last part, remember that we said, first of all, give us the pro and con. But then I also asked, if you were to choose one method out of all of these 4 scenarios, which one would be the best, or which one do you recommend? Remember, when you are choosing, it should be fair for all. It should represent the whole population, right? You don't just want to pick and choose who you represent in order to get a survey. It's not fair, it's misrepresentation. So in my opinion, obviously, group number 4, they spend 5 days in multipurpose hall asking 25 students a day. The fact that it's unbiased, that means it was fair for everybody. Everybody got a chance to participate. And although it took time, it's still probably the best results and the best way to get or gather information, inshallah. So up to you. I have a small activity for you to do. You want to do it with somebody, that's okay to do. You want to do it on your own, then that's okay as well. So if you work with somebody, discuss what are the pros, what are the cons, and then also come up with the ultimate decision as to why you would choose. So write it out, though. I don't have any more space here, but if you were to write out, why am I choosing group number 4? Because number 1, it's unbiased. Everybody got a fair chance. Even though it took time, it's okay. But fairness overrides all the rest of them, inshallah. So inshallah, if you have any questions, make sure you make it to class. And that is it for today. Assalamu alaikum, guys.